Hello and welcome. It's another edition of Weighted to Win. Some cracking racing on this Saturday afternoon, and we're really looking forward to it. A trip off to Hollywood Bets Grable, and hoping that everybody's in good spirits. Just another reminder about that social media. The straps are up on your screen at the moment. Jot down all the details, and we'd love to hear from you. I've got Darren and Daryl with me. Looking forward to this particular card, and let's give it a full go. Let's try and make some good money. Obviously, last week out at Hollywood Bets Grable was a goodie, and we're certainly looking forward to this particular meeting as well. Let's jump straight into it. Race number 2 goes off at 11:40. The World Sports Betting bet with the best maiden plate. It is over 1,200 meters, and it does start off today's buy pot. Quick look at the market. The favorite number 7, Bedtime Story at 9-2. 10 Kumamori's at 9-2. The 11 Rafa's Boy at 9-2, and it's 9-1 and better bar those. All right, so we'll go straight to Darren. Darren, welcome to the show. Race number 2 does look to be wide open.
It looks wide open, Brandon. You know, you got a horse like Bedtime Story that was a fair debut behind Zoom Bomber and is open to improvement, and a jockey booking of Richard Fourie. This one can't be ignored. Then you've got a horse like Future of Energy. He showed glimpses of ability early, and then he was a beaten 6-10 favorite. He hasn't quite recaptured that early start. So he's had a short break. Let's see how he goes. And then you got Rafa's Boy and Kuma Mori. There was only a nose separating them last time out. But I can tell you, Rafa's Boy was over racing terribly. I think he was racing very fresh after a long rest, and I think he could improve.
Yeah, it doesn't look to be an easy race on paper. You're probably going to have to go a good 3 or 4 horses over here to make sure you survive the first leg of the bar pot. Daryl, welcome to the show. Obviously a card that I know you've been busy with the entire week. What do you like in race 2?
The 4 that Darren's touched on, Brandon. I'm putting all 4 in the bar pot. I'm hoping to get through. It's a very competitive race. Yeah, there's not much to add. Future of Energy, I mean, you can argue the fact that he hasn't trained on, because surely he should have won a maiden by now. Looking at the horses he's run behind, I mean, Gladiatorian, cousin Casey, see it again. But yet he just keeps on disappointing. Maybe that change in stable could revitalize him. Yeah, I don't know what to say. Just go wide in the opening leg of the bar pot.
Yeah, you probably got to go a good 3 or 4 horses, like I say, just to make sure you're safe and sound. Let's jump into those exotics. Let's see what we're doing. It is the first leg of the pie pot. We'll start with Darren Burrows. He's gone wide. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 13. By 4 and 6, by 1, 3, 5, 6, 7, 10. By Banker 6, by Banker 1. By 2, 3, 4, 9, and 10. 360 Rand if you want to follow Darren Burrows with that bar put on your screen. We'll update that in just a second. You'll be able to jot down Daryl Marie's bar put as well. 7, 8, 10, and 11 in the first leg. By Banker 6, by 1, 3, 5, 6, and 7. By 1 and 6, by 1, 2, and 3, by 4 and 9. And the cost is 360 Rand. First leg of the place, Accumulator. It starts 9, race number 3, and the market has number 6, Indian Ocean, at 17-20. So very short at the top of the betting boards. Number 4, Pixie in Love at 5-1, and it's 13-2 and better bar those. I'm going to start with Daryl Marie. Daryl, Silks of Mano Pandaram, obviously doing very well at the moment. He had a good winner at the Val on Thursday. He's a big follower of the Weighted to Win show, and yeah, he enjoys listening to you guys. Give him confidence here with the 6 Indian Ocean.
Yeah, Manu, have a bet. Get stuck in. Not much else I can say, Brandon. That was a sparkling debut, in my opinion. She's obviously a filly that was in open company. We actually saw a winner at the Val on Thursday who finished 8 lengths behind her come out and win, and that's fully loaded. He got the better of Viva de Janeiro and Nazar. Yeah, Brandon, if you have a look at the dam, Little Bacchio, or Bacchio, I don't know how you pronounce that. Now she's related to Zeus out of your league and pay back the money. All staying types. She's going to love the extra. I really expect her to win. I just hope that she's travelled well, and I expect her to win this quite convincingly, because the field that you meet here is below par standard. So yes, Indian Ocean a bank in the opening leg of the bar pot. I mean the PA.
All right, yeah, I like that confidence. And yeah, Mano Pandaram, there you go. Daryl Marie said have a bet, 17 to 20, quite short. But I'm sure race time you might just get a better price. Let's go to Darren Burrows on the line. Darren, are you reading from the same page? Are you confident about this horse Indian Ocean winning race number 3?
Yes, Brandon. Originally in my PA, I went 4 and 6. That's on the Weighted to Win show. But when I watched the replay of Indian Ocean, it was very eye-catching. Staying on very strongly late on, suggesting she's crying out for ground, maybe even 2,400 meters in time to come. And this isn't a strong field. When you look at her main danger, Pixie in Love, her best form has come on the poly track. Her turf form, I think she's been unplaced in all her starts. So you got to go with Indian Ocean with full confidence.
So you're getting the confidence over there, and I remember catching up with Mano after that first run. He's very excited about this 3-year-old Bay filly, and let's hope she can get the job done in style when it comes to race number 3 out at Hollywood Bets Greyville. Darren Burrows in the PA has gone 4 and 6. By 5 and 6 in the second leg, by 1, 6 and 9, by Banker 1, by 3, 4, 9 and 10, by 1, 2, 4 and 10, by 5, 8 and 10. It's going to cost you 576 Rand. 12:15 is the off time, and it's over 1900 meters. Let's have a look at Daryl Marie's PA. He's going to banker number 6 in the first leg, Indian Ocean, by 1, 3, 5, 6 and 7, by 1 and 6, by 1 and 2, by 4, 9 and 11, by 1, 2, 4, 6 and 8, by Banker 5, and the spend over there is 300 Rand. Big one after the afternoon is the pick 6. I'm sure this pool's going to be a biggie on the Saturday afternoon, and it starts now in race number 4. 12:50 is the off time. The World Sports Betting spin with the best Pinnacle Stakes over 1600 meters. And what a lineup it is. Great to have Do It Again back at the races. He knows Hollywood Bets Greyville very well. Number 6 is your favorite, 3 to 1. The 5, Captain Fontaine at 7 to 2. 3, Union Square at 5 to 1. And at 6 to 1 and better bar those. We'll start with Darren. Darren, lovely race. I'm sure many will be watching this race closely. Do It Again. Great to have him back at the races. Will this be your first selection?
Don't we all want to see Do It Again make it a 10th career victory? He runs very well fresh. They haven't raced him a lot. They've raced him sparingly. You know, he's had 32 starts as an 8-year-old, and he loves Greyville. The mile, not a problem. I think if there's a decent pace on, he can just slipstream those leaders. And I think he'll go very close to winning. Last year, they said in the July, no, he's too old to run into the money. And there was 4 places that day, and he ran a cracker to Sparkling Water. He's evergreen. Let's hope that he can get it right. His danger will be Captain Fontaine. Last time out, there was a strong tailwind. He was too far out of his ground, and Cape Eagle got first run on him. I think we can expect a good effort. Union Square, 3-year-old with 60.5 kilos. Not going to be easy, but he is classy. Russian Rock, as long as he settles in running, he has got a tendency to over-race. And then Future Prince and Captain Casey not out of it. I'm just hoping Do It Again can do it.
A very good race. I've always been a big fan of both Do It Again and Captain Fontaine. Let's go to Daryl Marie and see what he likes. Daryl, 2 very good horses. Do It Again, Captain Fontaine, Union Square, Future Prince, Russian Rock. They can all run on their day.
Yeah, great race. Touching on Do It Again, obviously his form reads well over this course and distance. Just take note, in one of those starts, also used as a prep going into the Durban July, he fell over the line beating Sir Michael, rated 94. So he was really hard-pressed of the mile on that occasion. He's got the class, but he's not going to be cut in half or punished, let me put it that way. Yeah, Captain Fontaine, like they're in touch on the conditions, weren't suitable last time out. That tailwind, he had his work cut out. Union Square is a high-class 3-year-old. I think he certainly could have benefited from the time off. He's very, very impressive. And then Russian Rock, he's got a mind of his own. If he settles in running, he's certainly capable, because the last time we saw him over this course and distance, Brandon, he ran behind Al Mutana, and in that race was linebacker Jet Dark. So yes, if he settles with Keegan from a one draw, I think he could possibly be the right one.
It's going to be a good race. Again, you're probably going to have to go wide. I don't want to sound like a stuck record, but you're going to have to include a good 3, 4, maybe even 5 horses over here just to have peace of mind. All right, let's jump into those selections. Let's see what we're doing in terms of the first leg of the pick 6. Darren Burrows gone 1, 3, 5, 6, 7 and 10. By 1, 6, 7 and 9. By Banker 1. By 2, 3, 4, 5, 9 and 10. By 1, 2, 4, 5, 7, 8, 10, 12 and 13. By 4, 5, 8, 10 and 13. 648 Rand will give you 10%. If you choose to take 5% of that, it's entirely up to you, but you must get involved. This pick 6 can pay money, and you need to be on by 12.50. It all starts now in race number 4. It's time for the jackpots. Jackpot 1 starts now in race number 5. Just another reminder about that social media strap. Obviously, Waited to Win's got their followers. We're growing in numbers, and if you'd love to engage with us, all the information is up on your screen at the moment. All right, I'm going to dive into the betting. The 1 Rocky Reef, 9-2 favourite. The 9 Aqua Sulis at 6-1. 11 Cape Town Beauty, who I thought was very unlucky last time out. The pace didn't suit. 13-2, and it's 7-1 and better bar those. We'll go back to Darren. Darren on the line. Darren, again, a very open race. I mean, 9-2 the field. Are you able to help us over here?
Yes, I am actually, Brandon. I fancy Jam quite a lot. You're getting 7-8-1 about this filly, and 15-10 a place. Now, I had a look at her pedigree. She's never gone beyond a mile. Over a mile, 1.75 lengths off Gold Poker Game. Last time out, 1400. She came off the bit early and she found extra. She's a half sister to Arezzo, who won the Settlers Trophy over 2,400 meters. And she's a half-sister to Insignis, who won the Jacaranda over 1,800. So surely, being out of Alula, this filly is crying out for the 1,800 meters. And I just feel she's going to build on that last effort with a handy galloping weight. So that's my each-way play for the race.
Yeah, that's lovely. Nice value over there. Jam. I'd include this horse. Won a very good race last time out. The 3-year-old Bay filly, and Serena Moodley gets the ride again. Let's have a chat, Daryl. I mean, wide open. We're not here to sound like a stuck record, but it's not an easy race, and you're probably going to have to go wide.
I am going to sound like a stuck record and say jam. I'm going to repeat what Darren said. He touched on the siblings. I have to touch on the full brother now. Now, the full brother by Duke of Marmalade was Super Duke. He won a race over 2,000 and 2,400, another race over 2,400. So, being unexposed of this distance, if she loves it, she'll take a power beating. Rocky Reef, I thought that was a fair return last time out in the KZN province. Staying on the inside, I thought that was the worst going. So she's very competitive off her current rating. So for me, 6 from 1.
All right, yeah, there you go. Some value, Jam. There seems to be a bit of a price available at the moment. I'm sure that will shorten up as the guys follow Daryl Marie and Darren Burrows. Let's go and see what we're doing in terms of selections over here. It is the first jackpot. They're going 1, 6, 7 and 9 in the first leg. This is Darren Burrows' jackpot. So 1, 6, 7, 9 in the first leg by Banker 1, by 2, 3, 4, 5, 9 and 10, by 1, 2, 4, 5, 7, 8, 10, 12 and 13. It's going to cost you 216 Rand. I'm hoping the first 4 races have treated you well and you can take this jackpot a few times. 13.25 is the off time and it's over 1,800 meters. All right, there's another good race coming up. It is time for the KRA East Coast Cup. It is a listed event over 2,000 meters. Not the biggest of fields, which means pace is obviously going to be key over here. But it's quite a competitive race on paper. Let's refresh the market, see what they're doing in terms of betting. Dawn of a New Day, number 2 at 2 to 1. One Time Flies, 22 to 10. 3 Sister Lights at 5 to 1. And it's 11 to 2 and better bar those. All right, I'm going to start with Daryl Marie now. Daryl, Dawn of a New Day, a horse that we've been following closely in its career. Time Flies, nothing wrong with that form, 22 to 10. And Sister Light's also been a horse that you've been following for quite some time. I see you getting 5 to 1. Which way are you playing?
Yeah, Brandon, this filly, Dawn of a New Day, doesn't she just keep on improving? I mean, you can't fault her. Every time she gets upped in the rating, she just confirms that she's capable. So she's one of the leading lights of the year. Have a look at the best weighted column. She's actually half a kilogram best in, but in my opinion, Time Flies won with a ton in hand last time out. They fitted her with cheek pieces on that occasion. She showed so much interest early on. That got her into the race early, and like I say, I thought she was hardly asked the question. So Time Flies ahead of Dawn of a New Day. And then Sister Light, she's not too far off Dawn of a New Day, so there's a possibility she can reverse that form. But in my opinion, I think they'll run 1, 2, and 3 in that order.
Yeah, I think it's quite a trappy race, and like Daryl says, Dawn of a New Day just keeps improving, and what a time Drakenstein are having, as well as Hollywood as owners. They're really having a good run at the moment. We wish them all the best for the rest of the season. They've got some lovely horses on their hands. Let's go to Darren. Darren, good race on paper. Dawn of a New Day. I know you've been following this one through its career. Time Flies, good winner last time out. And I think Sister Lights also had some hard luck stories in its last few runs. Which way do you see it?
Brandon, I'm a big fan of Time Flies. You know, she's a 4-year-old. She's only had the 8 starts. She started her racing career quite late, but she's a late maturing type of filly. You know, in a penultimate start, she turned for home stone last, and she absolutely took off over the 2,000 meters. Last time out, the cheek pieces went on, and complete change of tactics, went to the front and was never headed. She won with a lot in hand. I think she's a filly on the up and receiving 3 kilos from Dawn of a New Day. I believe that's the winning move. So I think Time Flies will take all the beating. I think Gravel, if she bounces out and gets handy, she'll be very hard to peg back. Dawn of a New Day, improving filly. She'll be competitive, and anything for third. Sister Light looks the best of the rest.
All right, let's dive into those selections for race number 6. I see Darren Burrows has suggested over here an each way, or maybe even a win, straight one on the nose on Time Flies. So there we go. Number 1 at the top of the betting boards with Dawn of a New Day. They're both trading at about 2 to 1, 22 to 10. It is a 4-year-old bay filly in the silks of the Hollywood Syndicate. Brett Crawford, the trainer. Louis Mkato has been booked to ride Time Flies, and that's the suggested bet from Darren Burrows. Race number 6, the KRA East Coast Cup, goes off at 2 o'clock, and it's over 2,000 meters. So we move along to race number 7, the start of Jackpot 2, and it is the World Sports Betting 1900. It's a grade 2 over 1900 meters. Just a big thank you again to Warren Tennis, his whole team out at World Sports Betting. They do so much for the sport of racing, and their continued sponsorship for the game that we love so much is highly appreciated. All right, so we're going to go into the betting. Let's see how they're pricing them up. Number 4, Pakaya, is your joint favorite, 3 to 1 with number 9, Quasi for sure. 3 Rascallion, 5 to 1, and it's 7 to 1 in better bar those. Darren, I'm going to start with you. A very competitive race on paper because there's some high class performers over here. Pakaya, I thought, won a great race last time out. This was Quasi for sure is improving at a rate of knots. Rascallion can run on his day. Cape Eagle's done nothing wrong to date. How do you see this particular race running? Race number 7, the start of the Jackpot 2.
This is a smashing race, you know, starting with Quasi for sure. Now, it all depends on if he stays 1,900 meters. If he stays the 19, he's a huge runner, and this could be a lead up to the Durban July. So this is the test for him. You got Pakaya. Now, he was carded to have his prep run in Cape Town in a feature race, and they called off the meeting because it was pouring down with rain. That would have been a perfect prep for him going into this race. So he hasn't been seen since the 25th of Feb, but he's a serious racehorse on his day, and he looks to be recapturing his early form. Now, you got Rascallion, probably one of the unluckiest losers in the Met. He should have finished right on top of them. He was drawn deep. He got squeezed late. He only finished 2 lengths off Jet Dark. All the ability in the world, 62 kilos, a big weight. But in the Met at level weight, he ran a cracker against horses like Jet Dark. He's not out of it. You've got Winchester Mansion. He's as much as 9.5 kilos better off with Rascallion on that last run. So he's a roughie to include. And then the local hope, Cape Eagle. Now, this horse goes start to finish in all his races. He's got a handy galloping weight, and he could try and go start to finish again. Those 5 runners I touched on are the leading lights.
It's a very good race. There's no doubt about it. I think Cape Eagle with only 52 kilograms on his back, probably play that catch me if you can game. He's going to go out there, he's going to gallop. I know it's a step up in class, but he's going about his business quietly and he's doing things right. Daryl, the 11 one-way traffic source I just want to chat to you about quickly because I did listen to the post comments of his gallop, and Grant van Niekerk was very upbeat about this horse having a wonderful champion season. He seems to thrive in Durban. I know it's a bit short for him, but he can run this horse.
Yeah, and the fact that Cape Eagle's in the race, I think he's going to string them out and it's going to suit this horse because we know what he's capable of, Brandon. This horse has got an exceptional turn of foot if he settles in running. I mean, we saw in the Consolation 2200, he came from last, and at the 200, Grant van Niekerk was gearing him down already. So I'm not excluding him from our play. Pakaya, I thought that it was an awesome victory. Everything went wrong in the straight for him. He was fortunate in that Quasi for sure was geared down, but he was unlucky himself not to have won by further because he met several traffic problems. So Pakaya, one of the leading lights. Quasi for sure. Brandon. Last time out, they took off the tongue tie and they gave him a chance. Now he's a versatile sort. We've seen him go to the front with Joshua, and we saw him last time out being given a chance, and he was very impressive last time. So will he get the trip? That remains to be seen. Winchester Mansion, rested and gelded. He's only got 52 kilograms. He's a very, very nice horse. I've backed him up, the others with him in my jackpot. He's my 4th pick. So yeah, like Darren said, a great race.
All right, let's dive into those selections. Let's see how the guys are playing over here when it comes to race number 7, the start of Jackpot 2. Daryl Marie's suggested a Jackpot 2 over here. I see 400 Rand the spend. He's gone 2, 4, 9 and 11 in the first leg, by 1, 2, 4, 6 and 8, by 5 and 10, and then wide at the back. That'll be the last race. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and 11. So only 400 Rand the spend. It is the World Sports Betting 1900. It's off at 14.39. So make sure you're on before just to avoid disappointment. It's going to be a great race. I know the punters will be out watching. Let's see what happens from this particular contest. A few of these horses will put their hand up for a massive champion season in Durban. It is over 1900 meters and it is the start of Jackpot 2. Time for race number 8, and it is the World Sports Betting Online Casino Pinnacle Stakes. It's over 1200 meters. Let's refresh the market. USA's Hope number 2 is at 7-2. 4 Strawberry Bear 4-1. 10 Tread Swiftly at 11-2, and at 6-1 the 12 After the Rain. You're getting 10-1 and better bar those. I do want to go to Darren on the line. Darren, another good race. Strawberry Bear won a very good contest last time out, beating Cousin Casey, as well as that good horse Jimmy Don from the Erico Verdonese yard. And then Tread Swiftly, a horse that can also run on powerfully. He'll probably just need the gaps to open at the right time.
Yes, Strawberry Bear, very eye-catching since the gelding. 2 from 2. Now, he likes to race handy, and he's got the draw in his favor, which is a big plus for him. This is a tough race, but last time out he showed that he can take on some of the best 3-year-olds around. He beat Cousin Casey and Jimmy Don. The 1200's not a problem because he's a 1400 meter specialist. 58 kilos for a 3-year-old, not easy in this type of race, but he'll be competitive. You've got USA's Hope with bottom weight and a good draw. He looks to be improving. Coin Spinner's an interesting runner. He's having third run after a lengthy layoff, and he hasn't finished far back in his 2 runs back. He's got a 1 draw in his favor. Tread Swiftly, a cracking win last time out. His penultimate starts, he should have just about won. The gap's closed on him. He should be competitive too. There's a lot more horses I haven't touched on that can get involved.
Yeah, we'll go to Daryl Marie and see what he likes over here for this particular race. Daryl, I was very impressed with Strawberry Bear last time out. I don't think you'll be too worried about the drop back to 1200 because he's an on-pace sort of a horse. Tread Swiftly, I'd imagine he'll be dropped out, probably make his run towards the middle outside, and he'll be lashing home as well.
Yeah, Brandon, if I'm not mistaken, this horse, Strawberry Bear, was sold to Hong Kong connections, and then for some reason the deal never went through. But then I saw a write-up, and the connections said he's a golden horseshoe type of a horse, 1200 meter specialist. So yeah, I mean, you can't fault his form since being gelded. Yeah, Darren's touched on a few that I'll give chances. Coin Spinner, USA's Hope. 2 that he didn't mention, which I've included in my jackpot. Number 6, Back to Black. Now, I know that 1200 is on the short side for him, Brandon, but the last time he was over this course in distance, he quickened up beautifully. I don't know if you recall that race. African Skyline looked home and hosed, and he knuckled down and he got the better of him in the latter stages. If there is going to be an upset, I think Back to Black is capable. And then Former Gear. Now, Darren actually liked this horse last time out because he put up a sparkling return on the polytrack when in need of the run. And then everything went wrong for him last time out. He's much better than that. So put a line through that effort. He's going to improve. And he's actually won over this course in distance. It was on debut when he bolted up. He's only got 51 to shoulder. So throw him into your bets.
All right, let's go and see what we're doing in terms of selections over here. We'll pop that up on the screen. You can soak it up. Pick 3 for Daryl Marie. Loves the pick 3s. 1, 2, 4, 6 and 8. By 5 and 10. By 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and 11. If you take it as is on the screen, it's going to cost you 100 Rand. And race number 8, a good race to watch, will go off at 19 minutes past 3. The penultimate on today's 10-race program is race number 9, and this is the World Sports Betting Leaders in Local Racing, merit rated 81 handicap. It's over 1,400 meters, and the favorite as it stands is number 10, Ponte Pietra. I think that's how we say it, 28 to 10. 5, Kingdom of Heaven at 9 to 2, and you're getting 8 to 1 and better bar those. Darren, I know you've always been a big fan of this favorite. Dropping back to 1,400 meters, is that a concern?
Not really, he did debut over a mile when running third, and I thought maybe they think he's a 2,000 meter horse by debuting him over a mile. But then he dropped back to 14, he won. Last time out was a cracking effort behind Kitchakal. After a break, he moved up strongly and then was a bit one-paced. Maybe the 14 is ideal. So Ponte Pietra, a big runner. Now, there's an interesting runner here called Captain of the Green. They took him up to the high fault for the Egoli and the SA Classic. I think he's a 1,400 meter horse. He's been gelded and had a short break. This horse had a big price. Don't exclude him out of your trifectas because he's a very nice horse. Kingdom of Heaven, you know what the stable think of this horse. And, I mean, faded tamely last time out, but he's capable of a lot better, and they wouldn't have taken him to Durban if they didn't think he was going to do well. So 10, 8, 5, and then include the local hope, Parmenion.
Yeah, it's interesting that you touch on this horse, Kingdom of Heaven, because Daryl, I know they've always thought quite a bit of him, and just having a look at his rating of 83, I think They believe he's a lot better than that. They just need to get to the bottom of him. They've taken him to Durban. Maybe that'll be the change for him. Maybe we'll see the best of Kingdom of Heaven to come. And then Captain of the Green. I have obviously spoken to Dylan Chinsamy and the connections. They think this horse is high class. They're expecting a big season with him. How do you see the race?
Yeah, interesting, Brandon. He's been rested and gelded. So maybe follow the market with regards to his chances. The favourites, what's it, Ponta Pietra. Now this is the race, Brandon, that the favourite, the Peter Muscat favourite, drifted from something like 16 to 10 to 3 to 1, was placed at the back of the field, different tactics. Yeah, so he moved up to a stage. Sorry, I'm battling a bit, but certainly got a chance to improve in that run because he's going to strip fitter. And then Kingdom of Heaven. Now, Brandon, last time out, I think you can put a line through that start. It was in the yielding conditions. First run as a gelding. Penultimate start. Have a look at that effort, Brandon. You see he ran behind, without question. Have a look at the weights. He gave, without question, 4 kilograms. So what do you make of that effort? Given, without question, 4 kilograms. Only beats him 5 lengths. But he has disappointed and let the side down to date. Let's hope he thrives in these new surroundings. So, a tricky race, but Kingdom of Heaven could be better than he's currently rated.
All right, yeah. I do believe he's a lot better than an 83. There's absolutely no doubt about that. They just need to get to the bottom of him. Being the professional outfit that they are, the Snaith team, there's no doubt that they'll go back, do all the homework they possibly can, and let's hope that this horse can bounce back and show us what he really can do. Let's see what we're doing in terms of selections over here. It is the quartet that we're suggesting from Darren Burrows. He's gone 4, 5, 8 and 10, by 4, 5, 8 and 10, by 4, 5, 8 and 10 and field. So 240 Rand will be the spend in this quartet, and race number 9 goes off at 15.55. On to the final race, race number 10, the World Sports Betting 24/7 customer support, fillies and mares 76 handicap. It's over 1,400 meters, and the 4-1 weak favourites over here is number 4, Just Be Nice. 2, Dancing Milords at 9-2, 5, Oriental Bouquets at 7-1, 7, Morgan Le Fay's at 7-1, and it's 9-1 and better bar those. I'm going to start with Daryl Marie. Daryl, I've always been a big fan of this horse, Just Be Nice. I thought last time out, I'm going to say, didn't get the best of rides, was caught deep, no cover, and this horse you need to try and get some cover with a good draw today. Keegan, I see, gets the ride. We'll be stalking the pace. 4-1 could be some value.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we can't fault how well Cachetti's done on this horse, but he really hasn't been lucky in running. I mean, he's been caught wide on a few occasions. Nice to see Candice have a win at midweek. Keegan DeMello's a jockey up, so she must have strong claims. Nice little roughie for trifectas and quartets. Number 6, Conchita, yet she hasn't won in 700 odd days, but she's thereabouts in her penultimate start on the turf. She should have finished closer. A little bit naughty. She actually bounced very well out the pens last time out, then got taken back, stayed on. I thought it was a fair run. Ed VJ, number 11, course and distance suited. Richard Free-Up. She'll be doing her best work late. And then obviously the ultra consistent Kwanabi, who I've suggested as a place bet in a very tricky race. I expect another honest effort from her, and she should run into the money, but this is a nightmare of a race, Brandon.
All right, yeah, let's go to Darren on the line. Darren, can you help us a little bit? Because I really like the look of Just Be Nice over here. I think 4-1 is outstanding value. I know last time out we've touched on that. Let bygones be bygones. We need to put it in the past and box on. I think 4-1, if she can get some cover, she'll be mowing them down late. Can you give me confidence?
Brandon, I can give you confidence about this filly. I really like her chances, you know. Last time out, I liked her, and she got caught 4 deep around the bend. She moved up strongly, didn't quite find extra. The drop back to 1400's ideal. I think Gravel's going to suit her because she has got that turn of foot with that short run in. Now, there is a horse that I put in my black book last in a penultimate start, Conchita. Now, she was absolutely cruising behind runners. the gaps didn't open all the way to the finishing line. She would have just about finished on top of them behind Maria Carolina. And last time out, the drop-in trip didn't suit her. So receiving, 7.5 kilos from Just Be Nice, I think Conchita could be the value. Those are my two leading lights in an open race.
All right, and that's how we wrap it up. Thank you very much to Darren Burrows. A big thank you to Daryl Marie as well. And we're going to have a look at the selection over here. Daryl Marie suggests a place bet on Quinabi. Current price at the moment 9-1, 10-1 in that sort of region. So he does suggest a nice place bet on Quinabi being number 3. All right, so that's it. Thanks very much to all the Weighted to Win fans. Thank you for watching the show. We hope that you've had a wonderful afternoon. We'll chat tomorrow again for the meeting out at Turfentine. Bye-bye.